Jack Lawson's arrival at the Galactic Academy was met with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. As he stepped off the gleaming spacecraft, he surveyed the vast atrium filled with alien students of all shapes and sizes. The walls glowed with bioluminescent patterns, a stark contrast to anything Jack had seen back on Earth. He clutched his bag tightly and took a deep breath. This was his chance to prove that humans could coexist and thrive in a galactic society. He navigated through the throng of students, each giving him varying degrees of attention, from wide-eyed wonder to cautious glances. Jack felt a pang of nerves but pushed forward, determined to make a good impression. Jack's first stop was the Orion dormitory, where he would meet his roommate. The door to room 324 slid open with a soft hiss, revealing a cozy yet alien room with 2 beds and a holographic window projecting a serene landscape of Xylaria. Jack's roommate, Zorka, was already there, adjusting a floating screen with his slender blue fingers. "Hello," Jack greeted, offering a friendly smile. "I'm Jack, your new roommate." Zorka turned, his large, expressive eyes lighting up. "Welcome, Jack. I'm Zorka. It's great to finally meet a human in person. I've heard so much about Earth." Jack chuckled. "Well, I hope I can live up to the hype." He placed his bag on his bed and pulled out a small container. "I brought something for you to try. It's called Vegemite, a popular spread from my home country." Zorka tipped the container, eyeing it with curiosity. He spread a thin layer on a piece of bread and took a tentative bite. His face twisted in surprise, and he quickly grabbed a glass of water. "That's unique," he managed, causing Jack to laugh. "Yeah, it's an acquired taste," Jack admitted. "But I promise, not all human food is like that." The next day, Jack attended his first class with Professor Glix, a 4-armed scholar with a fascination for human culture. The classroom was a blend of advanced technology and traditional learning spaces, with holographic displays floating above each desk. "Class, we have a very special guest today," Professor Glix announced, his voice echoing slightly in the spacious room. "Jack Lawson, the first human student at our academy." Jack stood, feeling the weight of countless eyes on him. He gave a small wave. "Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here and learn from all of you." The response was mixed. Some students leaned forward, intrigued, while others, like the hulking Zargonian named Borak, crossed their arms and frowned. Jack noticed Borak's intense gaze and felt a flicker of unease. During the break, a group of students surrounded Jack, bombarding him with questions about Earth. "Is it true that humans only have 2 arms?" asked a curious Elorian, her 4 eyes blinking in unison. Jack nodded. "Yep, just 2. But we make the most of them." Another student, a small, green-skinned renter, chimed in. "What's it like living on a planet with so much water?" "It's amazing," Jack replied. "We have oceans, rivers, and lakes. Water is essential for life on Earth." As the day progressed, Jack felt a growing sense of acceptance from his peers, though Borak's skepticism lingered. After class, Borak approached Jack, his towering form casting a shadow. "Humans don't belong here," Borak growled. "You'll never fit in." Jack met his gaze steadily. "I'm here to learn and share. I believe we can all benefit from understanding each other." Borak scoffed and walked away, leaving Jack with a knot of tension in his stomach. Despite the warm welcome from many students, Borak's hostility reminded him that not everyone was ready to embrace the idea of a human among them. That evening, Jack and Zorka sat in their room, discussing their day. Zorka was eager to learn more about Earth, and Jack was happy to share stories of his home. They quickly discovered common interests, from a love of music to a fascination with space exploration. "I think we're going to be great friends," Zorka said, his eyes twinkling with excitement. "I hope so," Jack replied, feeling a genuine connection forming. Their conversation was interrupted by a message on the room's communication panel. It was Professor Glix, inviting Jack to organize a Human Food Day event to introduce the Academy to Earth's cuisine. Jack's initial excitement was tempered by the memory of Borak's words, but he knew this was an opportunity to bridge cultural gaps. "I think it's a great idea," Zorka encouraged. "You'll show everyone the best of what Earth has to offer." Jack nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. "Let's do it." Jack woke early, his mind buzzing with plans for Human Food Day. The event was only a week away, and there was much to be done. He and Zorka had spent the past few days researching recipes, gathering ingredients, and spreading the word about the upcoming cultural exchange. Jack felt a mix of excitement and apprehension, knowing this event could either strengthen his standing at the Academy or confirm Borak's doubts about humans. After a quick breakfast, Jack and Zorka headed to the Academy's central kitchen. The kitchen was a marvel of alien technology, with appliances that could synthesize any ingredient and cooking stations that adapted to different species' needs. Jack marveled at the equipment but reminded himself to focus on the task at hand. "Let's start with something simple," Jack suggested. "How about pizza? It's versatile and can be customized with different toppings to suit everyone's tastes." Zorka nodded eagerly. "Sounds great. What do we need?" As they prepared the dough and toppings, Jack explained the process, enjoying Zorka's enthusiasm. Zorka's dexterous hands made quick work of chopping vegetables and arranging ingredients, while Jack focused on teaching him the intricacies of making a perfect pizza crust. Throughout the day, students from various species stopped by to observe and offer suggestions. Some were fascinated by the concept of pizza, while others were skeptical. Jack took the time to explain the cultural significance of each dish, hoping to foster a deeper understanding and appreciation of human cuisine. Word of Human Food Day spread quickly, and soon the kitchen was abuzz with activity. Students from across the galaxy volunteered to help, eager to contribute their own culinary skills and learn more about Earth's food. Even Professor Glix made an appearance, offering his guidance and support. Despite the growing excitement, Jack couldn't shake the feeling that something might go wrong. Borak's earlier hostility still lingered in his mind, and he wondered if the Zargonian would try to sabotage the event. He decided to keep a close eye on the preparations, determined to ensure everything went smoothly. The day of the event arrived, and the Academy's main hall was transformed into a vibrant showcase of human culture. Tables were laden with a variety of dishes, from sushi and tacos to spaghetti and apple pie. Holographic displays projected images of Earth's landscapes and landmarks, creating an immersive experience for the attendees. As students began to arrive, Jack and Zorka moved from table to table, explaining the history and significance of each dish. The response was overwhelmingly positive, with many students expressing their delight and curiosity about human food. Borak, however, remained conspicuously absent. Jack couldn't help but feel a sense of unease, but he pushed the thought aside, focusing on the success of the event. He noticed a group of students gathered around the pizza station, eagerly sampling the different toppings and offering their feedback. "This is amazing," said a tall, silver-skinned Elorian. "I've never tasted anything like it." Jack smiled, relieved that the hard work was paying off. "I'm glad you like it. Pizza is a staple on Earth, and it's great to see everyone enjoying it." Just as things seemed to be going perfectly, a commotion erupted near the dessert table. Jack and Zorka rushed over to find a group of students coughing and spluttering, their faces contorted in discomfort. Borak stood nearby, a smug grin on his face. "What's going on?" Jack demanded, his heart pounding. Borak shrugged. "Just thought I'd add a little extra spice to your bland human food. Seems like not everyone can handle it." Jack's mind raced as he assessed the situation. He quickly identified the affected dishes and instructed the students to drink water and eat some bread to neutralize the spice. Zorka, with his empathic abilities, helped calm the distressed students and reassured them that everything would be fine. Despite Borak's attempt to ruin the event, Jack and Zorka's quick thinking averted a disaster. The rest of the day continued without further incidents, and many students approached Jack to commend him on the successful event. As the event drew to a close, Professor Glix gathered everyone for a final speech. "Today has been a remarkable day of cultural exchange and understanding. Jack, Your efforts have shown us the richness of human cuisine and the importance of sharing our cultures. Thank you. The students applauded, and Jack felt a surge of pride and relief. He glanced at Borak, who stood at the edge of the crowd, arms crossed and expression unreadable. Jack knew this wasn't the end of their conflict, but for now, he had proven his worth. As Jack and Zorka began to clean up, Zorka turned to him and said, "You handled that well." Borak didn't stand a chance. Jack nodded, a determined look in his eyes. "Thanks, Zorka. But we need to stay vigilant. He's not done with us yet." Jack's success with Human Food Day had earned him newfound respect among the students, but Borak's animosity lingered. Determined to undermine Jack's position, Borak issued a public challenge, a series of competitive tests designed to prove who was truly superior. The first challenge was a physical obstacle course, held in the Academy's sprawling training grounds. The course was a daunting array of barriers, climbing walls, and agility tests. Jack stood at the starting line, his heart pounding with anticipation. He knew this was more than just a physical test, it was a battle for acceptance. Zorka stood by Jack's side, offering a reassuring smile. "You've got this, Jack. Just focus and remember your training." As the starting signal blared, Jack launched himself forward, weaving through the obstacles with agility and determination. Borak, with his brute strength, bulldozed through the course, but Jack relied on his quick reflexes and strategic thinking to stay ahead. At one point, Jack encountered a high wall that seemed insurmountable. Drawing on his experience in parkour, he scaled it with nimble precision, earning cheers from the crowd. Borak, not to be outdone, used his powerful limbs to vault over the wall in a single bound. The race was neck and neck, each pushing the other to their limits. In the final stretch, Jack sprinted towards the finish line, his lungs burning and muscles straining. He crossed the line just a split second before Borak, collapsing to the ground in exhaustion. The crowd erupted in applause, impressed by both competitors' efforts. Borak glared at Jack, his pride wounded but his resolve unshaken. "This isn't over, human. We still have more challenges to go." The next challenge was a test of knowledge, held in the Academy's Grand Library. Jack and Borak faced off in a quiz that covered a wide range of subjects, from galactic history to advanced mathematics. Professor Glix moderated the contest, his eyes twinkling with interest. Jack's extensive reading and curiosity about the universe paid off as he answered question after question with confidence. Borak, while intelligent, struggled with some of the more nuanced topics. The tension in the room grew as the score remained close, each correct answer raising the stakes higher. "Final question," Professor Glix announced. "What is the principle behind the quantum entanglement communication network?" Jack's mind raced as he recalled his studies. Quantum entanglement allows particles to be interconnected in such a way that the state of one particle instantaneously influences the state of another, regardless of distance. This principle enables instantaneous communication across vast distances. "Correct," Professor Glix confirmed, his voice resonating with approval. The room burst into applause once more, and Jack felt a surge of pride. Borak clenched his fists, his frustration evident. "One more challenge remains. Let's see how well you fare in the kitchen." The final challenge was a cooking competition, held in the same kitchen where Jack and Zorka had prepared for Human Food Day. The task was to create a dish using both human and alien ingredients, showcasing culinary creativity and skill. Jack and Zorka worked together seamlessly, combining earth spices with exotic alien fruits and vegetables. They crafted a fusion dish that combined the best of both worlds, each bite bursting with unexpected flavors. The aroma filled the kitchen, drawing curious onlookers. Borak, determined to win, prepared a traditional Zargonian stew, adding human elements in an attempt to outshine Jack. As the judges sampled each dish, their expressions ranged from delight to surprise. The head judge, a renowned culinary expert, took a bite of Jack's creation and closed her eyes in appreciation. "This is extraordinary. The blend of flavors is innovative and harmonious." Borak's dish, while impressive, lacked the same level of creativity and integration. The judges conferred briefly before announcing their decision. The winner is Jack Lawson and Zorka for their exceptional fusion dish. The crowd erupted in applause, and Jack felt a wave of relief and satisfaction wash over him. He had proven himself in every challenge, earning the respect of his peers and even, begrudgingly, Borak. As the crowd dispersed, Borak approached Jack, his expression unreadable. "You've shown great skill, human. Perhaps there's more to your kind than I thought." Jack extended his hand, offering a truce. "We all have something to learn from each other. Let's make this academy a place where we can grow together." Borak hesitated for a moment before shaking Jack's hand. "Agreed. But don't think I'll go easy on you next time." The academy buzzed with its usual activity, but Jack couldn't shake a feeling of unease. His alliance with Borak had shifted the dynamic, but the tension lingered beneath the surface. Jack and Zorka were working on a new project in their dormitory when the academy's alarm system blared, sending a wave of panic through the halls. Jack and Zorka exchanged a worried glance. "What's happening?" Jack asked, his voice barely audible over the cacophony. Zorka accessed the communication panel, his fingers flying over the controls. "It's an emergency alert. The academy is under attack." Jack's heart raced. "We need to find Borak. If we're going to defend the academy, we'll need his strength." They sprinted through the corridors, dodging frantic students and faculty. As they reached the training grounds, they found Borak rallying a group of students, his imposing figure a beacon of authority amidst the chaos. "Borak!" Jack called out. "We need to coordinate our efforts. What's the plan?" Borak turned, his expression grim but determined. "The attackers are a hostile species called the Dravari. They've breached the outer defenses. We need to secure the central command and protect the students." Jack nodded. "Let's do it. Zorka and I will take the east wing." As they moved through the academy, the sounds of battle grew louder. The Dravari, fierce and relentless, had infiltrated the premises, their advanced weaponry wreaking havoc. Jack's military training kicked in, and he directed students to safe zones while Zorka used his empathic abilities to calm those in distress. Reaching the east wing, they encountered a squad of Dravari soldiers. Jack and Zorka quickly assessed the situation. "We need to outmaneuver them," Jack said. "Zorka, can you create a diversion?" Zorka nodded and projected a series of holographic images, confusing the Dravari. While they were distracted, Jack launched a counterattack, using his agility to disable their weapons. The Dravari, momentarily disoriented, were swiftly subdued. "Great job, Zorka," Jack said, catching his breath. "Let's move to the central command." They navigated the labyrinthine corridors, encountering pockets of resistance along the way. Each encounter tested their resolve, but Jack's leadership and Zorka's ingenuity kept them moving forward. As they neared the central command, they found Borak locked in combat with a Dravari commander. The battle was fierce, with Borak using his brute strength to match the Dravari's advanced combat skills. Jack and Zorka joined the fray, their coordinated efforts turning the tide. The Dravari commander, realizing he was outmatched, called for a retreat. "We did it," Jack said, relief flooding through him as the Dravari fell back. Borak, breathing heavily, nodded. "For now. But they'll be back. We need to fortify our defenses." As they regrouped, Professor Glix arrived with a team of engineers. "We've identified a vulnerability in our defense grid," he explained. "If we can reroute power from the auxiliary generators, we can strengthen our shields." Jack, Zorka, and Borak worked tirelessly with the engineers, implementing the necessary modifications. The process was complex, requiring precise coordination and quick thinking. Despite the exhaustion, Jack felt a sense of unity among the diverse group, each contributing their unique skills to the common goal. Hours later, the modifications were complete. The Academy's shields hummed with renewed energy, a protective barrier against future attacks. The students and faculty gathered in the main hall, their faces reflecting a mix of relief and resilience. Professor Glix addressed the assembly. Today, we faced a grave threat. But through our combined efforts, we have emerged stronger. Let this be a testament to the power of unity and cooperation. The crowd erupted in applause, and Jack felt a swell of pride. He glanced at Boric, who gave him a nod of acknowledgement. The journey from adversaries to allies had been arduous, but it had forged a bond that would endure. As the assembly dispersed, Zorka turned to Jack. "We make a pretty good team, don't we?" Jack smiled. "Yeah, we do. And I have a feeling this is just the beginning of many more challenges and victories to come."